I can't unmute us. It sounds about right. I believe the stream can hear me because I just heard myself through the stream. The stream.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Stream of Consciousness. My name is DStheOriginal, and I, once again, this week, am joined by some good friends of mine. Mr. Bill, tell us who you are and what you're about. DS? Yeah. I do have audio coming through on my end, and it's showing up on my OBS, so I don't know what's happening. Give me just a sec.
You jealous? Look, at least my arms are one tone of pale, where yours are like,
wow, don't you bring that up.
Aggressively tan to the palest thing I've ever seen.
I work inside now, so give it about 6 months, I'll all be the same shade of pale.
Yep, pale.
There we are.
Okay.
We're here.
Yeah.
It's working!
There we go. All right. So, we have a couple of things to talk about this week. I think the main topic that I wanted to talk about and touch on is going to be a little bit, more lighthearted than last week. We hit some deep notes last week, and I think that's really important. But we should also, I think we should also kind of direct it back and talk a little bit about like good things, that happen in streaming, good stuff that's going on. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is, and kind of touch tone is, we're going to get to a lot of different topics, but I wanted to talk and go through the sort of Twitch meta that is hype streams, and,
I need to attend to my children. I will be right back.
All right, go do that. Hype streams and other types of streams that are out there that are all sort of defining the Twitch meta. So we'll get into that. We're also going to take a look at a couple of projects that are coming up that I'm pretty excited about, and that we're going to hear from people who have never even heard of those things. So it's going to be fun. But yeah, we're Stream of Consciousness. This is three nerds talking about streaming, and we are always trying to talk about the things that maybe don't get talked about as much, which happened a lot last week. We talk a little bit about how streaming affects our lives, how it affects those around us, and sort of the more real side of streaming advice, as it were. So, with that being said, Derek, since last week,
Yes.
What have you been doing? What have you been up to? I know the work has been taking up a lot of your time, and that it's been really good for you on that front. But outside of that, what have you been spending your time doing?
Honestly, New World in the family. I which I mean, you guys know this too as well. I kind of made it a thing of like I was like, it was really weird to me at first. My stream schedule was always the same time all the time, and when I went back an hour, it was kind of really hard to still hit that same time frame. So now I pushed my time back a little bit so I could spend more time with my family after work, which leaves less time for streaming because I still have to get off at a certain time to go to bed early. So I've been kind of managing that a lot still as well, but still I think my main focus right now is IRL, spend time with my family, and then still I'm not saying I'm not giving as much attention to streaming because I still, community wise, I'm still trying to be there as much as I can, but at the same time, like, it comes to a point where you can't really sometimes. Yeah, that's what I've been kind of trying to figure out lately. And it's also really hard when you realize like you've built this awesome community of amazing people. It's just fun to play games with and hang out with, that you don't have as much time anymore because of, IRL stuff. But at the same time, like, IRL stuff is the stuff that if that falls apart, everything falls apart. That's like, I feel like the foundation of everything. So like, you have to pay attention and make sure that stuff's good, because if it's not, everything else would just crumble, it feels like.
Yeah. I mean, definitely think that that's the case. What's really interesting is the sort of different approaches that we all three take to streaming, and how different our streams are from each other. But in the sort of grander Twitch meta of things, how similar we are as well. All three of us are dads. All three of us are millennials. we're all people who have had and or had to deal with other careers while we were streaming, and so there's this balance that we have, this life balance that you have. For me, and I think that the difference in our approach is a little bit interesting. For me, streaming is my dream career. This is what I want to do. I find a lot of fulfillment in connecting to people and developing and being a part of groups and being a part of larger communities. And to me, that's sort of like the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do here. And I, not to say that that's not what everyone's trying to do, is create a community, right? But like, I always find myself as that person who tries to be everybody's friend, who tries to, be a part of it, of all the things that are happening. And I've found myself, really like anxious sometimes at some points where I'm like, okay, cool, this thing in my life is literally not working, so this has to work, right? And if I was forcing it and going into that, like, into that mindset, that's when I was really starting to like not enjoy doing this. So I had to fix that thing outside so that this would work properly. And I think that that's interesting, but I'm approaching it like this is my job. Like this is my thing that I'm doing full time. Whereas Derek, you approach it more as a hobby, right? Like,
yes and no. Like, here's the thing. Like, so like to get like really like for a while there before I had this job, that was my dream thing too as well. Like when I was getting out of the military, I was getting medically separated. I sat down and I crunched numbers as like, because at that point I was in the Dauntless community and pulling pretty well numbers on stuff. And I sat down and crunched the numbers. I was like, if I literally do a little bit better, I could do this full time. With the VA money benefits I get and the monetary value I was getting from Twitch, I could support my family from Twitch. I was like, all I had to do is a little bit better, which is like create content other places, stream a little bit more, give that extra little effort to bump it up. Mm-hmm. And then I took that year off, moved to Austin, did construction, lost a lot of money living in Austin, take care of the family. But that was the one thing I kind of struggled with, is like when I took this job, it kind of felt to me like I was giving up on that dream finally. Like that was the final, like, sealing the door, like this will never happen kind of thing. Which, not saying it won't ever, but now I like taking on this job was the final straw of like, hey, kind of time to grow up kind of thing. It feels like a lot of people would say like time to go out and get a job. Not saying streaming is not a job. It definitely is. Like that's what I mean. We all know that. But like it kind of felt like I was giving up on that dream, and it was really tough at first, because at first I was like, do I want to take this and give up on that? Because I know how much time commitment this will be. And I had to. But at the same time, I feel like I said, my IRL will be so much more healthier that when it does come into streaming, I'll be a better version of myself, if you will.
So like,
because I'm not
take
there
the time
to,
off, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's times where before I was streaming and when subs were rolling in, that was amazing. Now that's not the amazing part of my streams.
It always feels good when people are throwing money at you. Like that's one thing that's true about streaming. It always feels good when people are throwing money at you. The time when it really tests you, I think, is when that's not happening, right? When you're not getting 30, 40 follows a day, when you're not getting, a sub or 2 or 3 or 4 or even, 10 subs, gift subs a stream, when you're not getting those, and when it's just you streaming and to the 5, 10, 15, 20 people that are watching and lurking, not necessarily chatting, but lurking in your stream, it's those moments that I think that really test, and I think really test a lot of people. I think those are the hardest moments to be a streamer. is when, you know, you've averaged 20, 30, 25 people a month, a stream for the past month and a half, and then all of a sudden you drop to 10 or you drop to 5. I was averaging over 10 people a stream when I was playing Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy 12. And then the minute I stopped playing Final Fantasy games, I dropped to 5 people. But you know what? I fucking love those 5 people because they will watch me through anything. They literally have watched me play all of those games. And so, you know, I'm building a better foundation than what I had before. But you look at it like it's really easy to love streaming when everything that could go right is going right. It's when everything starts to not necessarily go wrong, but when everything starts to take that downturn like it always does, because it is a bell curve all the time. It is never, ever not that. So when you hit those low points, that's when streaming is real. That's when you look at it and you go, I still want to do this the rest of my life. And if you're doubting that at those points, it's normal. It's normal for people to do that. But it's also something you should take seriously in that maybe this isn't for you. Maybe it is just a hobby. Like, and I think that's it. Fair.
I'm to the point now where, like I said, like the points that are my good nights of streaming isn't because, hey, I pulled in, 40 subs tonight and that was awesome and that will help pay for groceries next week, which before it was like that. This whole last year it was like that. I would go to bed and I'd tell my wife, I was like, hey, I did really good tonight. Like that will pay for like this, and this. And she was happy because honestly, we weren't making much money. But like I said, now my good streams aren't about that stuff. It's about literally having fun. Certain just people just being there and chat. Like that to me is now what makes my nights and my streams, which to me, I mean, like I said, not to take away from that, because like streaming is a hobby / job for a lot of people, but I don't know, it's different for me now, and I enjoy it still a lot.
What do you think, Bill?
What do I think?
You've got that look on your face, man.
I don't. This is a topic that's tough for me.
Yeah.
Because streaming is something that I've always wanted. I mean, even back to when I was in the army, and I was like, oh man, I'd love to stream sometime. But everywhere I was, I didn't have time in the army. Most of the time I was either overseas or out in the field. There was no real in-between time for me. So like it was always something I chased after. And then, when I finally got out was my time to go for it. And it's a trip. Like when you start finding success, it's really cool. Like I know me and Derek kind of had similar situations where we were, notable figures in one very specific category. And then you end up in this rut where like you're not enjoying it, but you don't want to stop doing it because it's bringing you success. And I don't think it finally hit me how much I don't like playing Hades until last week. I had a charity marathon last week, which is super excited. Still excited to have been a part of a charity event. But man, the worst part of that event was having to play Hades.
But the community is probably what kept you in there alive.
The community absolutely keeps me there. I'm still active in that community. I'm still in the Discord. Just the other day I was doing VOD reviews for runners because I love the game. I just can't play it anymore. So then you come to this like weird impasse where you're like, I want to do all of these other things, but my audience is here. So I finally made the announcement, literally directly following the marathon last week, that I was retiring from Hades as a runner. And it is so fucking liberating. It is just the most relaxed I have been on stream for a long time. Maybe it's just coming along with the I'm changing everything in my life thing. We're moving across the country. We already touched on the whole relationship thing that's going on. And Hades was just another relationship we're gonna burn the bridge on, I guess. But
I don't know that it's burning a bridge. I think your story is very similar to another one that I've watched over the years, and that is Mr. Day 9. Day 9 was a StarCraft streamer, or StarCraft professional, competed on the national stage, streamed it, was doing videos about it. StarCraft 2 came out. He did a lot of StarCraft 2 content, and then got into casting, and then at some point, Day 9 had to move away from StarCraft. And so once he did, his entire user base went away. He had to completely build up, his Magic following. He had to completely build up a completely new user base to follow him. Luckily, he had some notoriety in the gaming space, and so it's a little bit different of a journey, but a very similar situation where he was stuck for a long time, probably doing that when he did not like doing it. I think that's really kind of an interesting story. What I wanted to point out for both of you guys is that those moves that you guys have made, even though they look from the outside, right, as Derek went from averaging 40, 50, 60, 70 people a night to 15, 20, 30 because he stopped playing Dauntless, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to point to the things both of you guys have said. You are better now, not only as streamers but as people, having separated yourself from those things. And the user base that you're building, right, is a better group of people who will be much more supportive than the people who were there.
Better group of people is the wrong way to word that.
Well, I mean, what I mean is it is a better community.
It is a more diverse audience, I would say.
They're there for you, not the game.
Right.
I would say, if somebody finds success in one game and doing very, very well, I wouldn't tell them to stop doing that, because I think that is kind of, sometimes people can just stick in that one thing, have fun, and do well.
Right.
I would say at least try to go outside that whole category once or twice, because it will give you the realization of, and I'm sure Bill, you might have did the same thing. Mm-hmm. When I streamed that game, I would stream another game once in a while, like, let's go play this game. And you're going literally from last stream averaging 40, 50 to averaging 7. And you're like, well, I'm not going to do that shit again. But like, it humbles you a lot.
Oh yeah.
I would definitely say, if you stream one game, try that. Because either A, you'll like what we have, you'll become more of a diverse streamer and get more people that's there just for you. Or you'll really have a good realization of where you're at and why you're there and what's really going on. So once you do make the move out of that, it don't hit you as hard.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the equivalent would be like, let's say you're in a job and you feel like you really hate this job, right? And then you leave that job and you go to another job, and another job is not like worse, but you start to realize that, like, well, shit, at least at that other job, I was putting up with the same stuff I was putting up with here, but I was getting paid better, or I was getting paid more. And so you start to get a little bit more perspective. And I think that something that happens in every streamer's career is that game jump where they started off, they're getting big in one game, they jump another game and they lose their audience, and they have to realize, what they were doing if they want to go to variety streaming, which I will fully admit I believe is a privilege. Variety streaming, I believe, is a privilege.
God, yeah.
I believe that people should put in the time and effort and the work into, a single category for a long time to develop a name for yourself. Don't do it like me, kids. And then you get to be a variety streamer once you've developed a following, people who are there for you instead of for the game. So like the way that I'm doing it is completely against the way I would recommend anybody else doing it.
I think there's validity in both paths. the like core of it is that you are going to find success quicker if you are just sticking in one category,
Right.
and doing the same thing all the time. And everybody knows they're coming to your stream for this. It's how I built my audience. It's how Derek built his audience to begin with. However, I think there is more meaningful growth to be had in variety streaming. If you are streaming in a variety, people are no longer coming back because you're playing that game. You might only get 2 or 3 people coming back when you hop games, but those 2 to 3 people are there for you. And then you're going to hop games and you're going to pick up 2 or 3 more.
Mhm.
And then you're going to hop games and you're going to pick up 2 or 3 more. So
Yeah.
are you going to... Eventually, you are going to see the same numbers. It's going to be difficult. It's going to suck at times. You're going to jump to a game and nobody's going to want to fucking watch it. And that's the reality. I played Garfield Kart on stream at one point because beyond the charity stream that we did, I just played Garfield Kart on stream because I was like, this sounds like fun. Do I know how many people watch that? A single person, 2 people actually. One was Lat watching the VOD, and the other one was Vareem, Hades world record holder, because he was like, oh, Bill's playing another speed game.
The same thing happened to me with Ghostbusters. Like, I played through the Ghostbusters, the game remastered, right? Because it was available on Game Pass. I was like, fuck, I love that game. I'm going to see how it looks on the new stuff. It looks great. It's a great game. I suggest everybody who likes Ghostbusters go play it, because it's basically what Dan Aykroyd would have written as the third movie. Like, it literally, it was the third movie that they wrote. They just turned it into a video game. And I played that game and nobody watched. Like, fucking nobody. I had a ball because that game is really fun. And I would say that, like, there is a lot of really good moments in that game. But nobody watched it. And I was thinking about, like, oh, should I play a cool, Halloween themed game for October? And I thought, oh, I'll play Ghostbusters again because fuck it, why not, right? Fucking, I literally was like, then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? My entire VOD is available on YouTube and nobody watches it. So there's literally no reason. Like, it's even cut up in episodes, man. Like, I've got it fully up there and it's just like nobody watches it. And it's this situation where I'm looking at, like, I'm making that decision not because I don't think it would be fun or I don't think the content would be good, because fuck it, my content is good. But it is because the gamers are fickle, right? However, not to like completely derail, there is a category in Twitch which does not follow that set of rules. And that is the just chatting category. This is a category that can have literally anyone in it. And streams can be so completely different. And there would be, a stream that is completely bonkers compared to streams that are not, right? Like talk shows, right? Like our show here is not a completely bonkers, confetti going off and like sirens and memes happening.
Could be.
You know what?
Maybe it should be.
Maybe at some point, maybe we'll try doing that. A completely cursed stream. I'll get all the alerts and shit happening.
I mean, you already did it with the thumbnail this week, man. We're halfway there. We're halfway to cursed.
Did you
stream.
see that, Derek? That's good.
Why is it so big?
It's just
Derek, you already have a big ass head. It wasn't a stretch.
Here's the thing.
Wow,
I didn't even have to stretch the image. No. The thing is, the YouTube algorithm loves faces, so I just thought I'm gonna make the most cursed fucking thing, and I did that at like 6 a.m. So
much face.
Yeah,
Faces
it was just
everywhere.
nothing but faces. But yeah, so maybe we'll do a curse stream at some point. I love that idea. Like, just bonkers shit going off and over again. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, and kind of the sort of the core of this week's idea, was, the Twitch meta sort of changes all the time, right? Right now, a lot of the meta is hosting and hosts. however many people host your stream increases the likelihood that you'll get on the recommended page. If you don't already have the people, the option for people to pay to get on the recommended page or pay to get into people's feeds. So the one of the streams that I wanted to sort of talk about and kind of compare were two streamers who I think are similar in community, but completely different in vibe, and are both in the just chatting category. So it's like, whereas like you can go to say all DBD streamers, and almost all DBD streamers will be very similar. You can go to almost all, League of Legend or Hades streamers, and almost all of them are pretty similar streams. They're not going to be, Hades streams, especially speedrunning streams, are not going to be crazy, chaotic ridiculousness. It's mostly going to be a dude trying to, beat his last score, and it's going to be a bunch of people who also play Hades and are going to be keeping, it's mostly just the same community over and over again.
I will die arguing that point.
See, that's the thing too as well. When you said all DVD streamers are the same, I'm like, okay.
I have watched so many different DVD streamers, but I haven't seen anybody who's just like, who's literally throwing a rave party in their DVD stream all the time. And to me, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying chaotic ridiculousness. I guess
our things are different, because like when I look at DVD streamers, there's the super focused, they're all in the game. The people that are like, the game's just there and they're talking with their chat. There's the people that just get scared 24/7 and scream at everything that you have to have the volume slider at like 1%.
That's how I view Twitch streams to begin with.
I don't. I feel like there is it's in the DBD category, but I feel like there's a lot of different variety of those. Because there's a lot of people that are just there for the game. There's people there for the community. There's a lot of different stuff like that.
Right, but they're playing the game. So like the streams, while they have slightly different tones, typically aren't a lot different. Like a lot of those streams are very similar.
I mean, they're playing the game, but like I guess it depends on how much they're putting towards the game versus how much are people towards the community and who's there. Like, because I feel like when I'm playing the game. That's not my main focus, though. My main focus is kind of like,
and you said that earlier. Your focus is the community and kind of the interaction of people, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
and just us just literally chilling out, having fun, and a bunch of people. I mean, you guys all been there when we play customs. It literally just a bunch of friends hanging out, trying to kill each other.
Honestly, some of the more fun times that we've done streaming has been when we do custom lobbies in DBD or just for friends trying to survive. Those have been a lot of fun. But especially when Rin has to go grow some chickens. So we or as I like to refer to them, meat birds. Birds. What I wanted to do is bring up two streams that I wanted to look at and kind of sort of check you guys on like what the vibes would look like. And the first one is BB Jess. And I don't know if you guys have ever sat down and actually watched a BB Jess stream.
I've watched more of her on TikTok. Like
I've seen plenty of her content on TikTok.
It is all over TikTok. I will also say, kind of a headphone warning for people who have their things. Her streams are loud, like they are loud. So if you guys want to, check your volume right now, I'm going to put this on and we're going to take a look at it. And I wanted to sort of get your guys' idea and your vibe on this. So this is BB Jess's stream. This is literally her starting like right when she comes in.
Maybe it is. Maybe it'll. No, it's playing.
I'll say too as well. Well, not right now, but there's a lot of things she does that she does right, but others. I've watched other streams try to do the same thing, not after her, but do it so wrong where it's annoying.
Yep. This is like the art form of chaos.
Absolutely.
Like it really is.
The thing is, I've watched some streams and I've always said this. I don't like streams that have a lot going on. They're super flashy and this and that. Somehow, in the mixture of all this random shit on the screen, it works out amazing.
Somehow I don't hate it.
I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand it.
I think the real issue comes from, because I'm the same way. When there is too much shit going on a stream, I'm like, just fucking stop.
Yeah.
But there's a certain genuineness, genuinosity.
Is that a
English
word?
is hard. It is now. That came out of my mouth.
Genuinosity.
Genuinosity.
There's an M in there somewhere.
So that's the way that they start their stream, and I agree with you. I think it's insane to me how controlled the chaos is. Everything is controlled. You saw that some of her alerts were going off during the opening song. She deafened the alert. She has the ability to like individually deafen alerts, go through and do this and that on the fly without interrupting her stream, without going any crazy. She can control what camera is on, which cameras are on, when they're on, how much they stay on. She has in that little thing in her hand, you can see that little controller. That's how she keeps everything going. It is controlled chaos. It's an thing.
It blows my mind that she can manage 6 cameras. Today alone,
20.
I flipped to the wrong scene
20.
4 times.
She has 20 cameras. She has 20 different.
That's not the point.
But that,
the point being, I can't manage
itself.
clicking the right fucking scene in OBS. This bitch is over here like, I've got 20 cameras, I've got transitions, fuck the alerts, I don't need them, and it's smooth as fuck.
It is.
Like...
And the thing is like she has developed this down to an art form. Most of her streams end up being very similar to this in Chaos, but like she keeps things controlled. Her mods are on fucking point. There are like 14,000 people in her chat, and like so they like literally keep things on point all the time. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic set of things, but it's a very different vibe than a lot of other streams. And the other one I wanted to talk about was a very kind of similar category style streamer where they have a standing desk and they talk and they do those kind of things. And that is Miss Ashley Roboto. And this is how they start their stream.
Because when we were watching this, it kind of gave me like that. I remember I've seen her before, but I've never watched her streams. I kind of went through it a little bit.
Oh my god, that
gave me that chill kind of like coffee house kind of vibes.
Holy shit! You know what? Thank you for sticking with me after that, because that was awful. Hi everybody.
No, I do.
It's just
prior
comfortable.
to moving to morning streams, I did frequent both like Ashley and Dodger's streams, and they are very similar. Like, let's just chill and chat, let's drink coffee and talk about shit, and it is a way to wake up for sure. It's one of the few calm things my ADD brain can just be attentive to without being sucked into. It's weird.
Are you ready for the fit?
But like, it's just like the neutral tones, the background, and everything in the starting soon screen, and everything's just very calming.
Y'all are fucking ready. A lot of y'all
you know what's
haven't
great
been here for
and
like a full year yet, so you don't know what happens.
There's still some crazy memes that go on in these streams, and I really do enjoy Ashley's streams. Ashley's a fantastic streamer, fantastic content creator. But I wanted to kind of point out sort of the difference between the two streams. They have a very similar style of streaming where they walk up to the mic, they have a standing desk. This is, they're enjoying their community. The difference is the tone of the stream is completely different, right? There's so much chaos going on in BB Jess's stream that it's almost, especially if you're not used to it, it's almost hard to follow what's happening other than just the music and the dancing and the camera switches and all that. So it's impressive to me that she's able to do all of that in the midst of all of those things, right? And Ashley Robato's stream is one of those streams that I will frequently just lurk in. And I think that's probably one of the things that, like, I just really love the conversations. She's very calming. It's a very much a lurker's stream. And I wanted to sort of say that, like, those are the types of, I would say that those are probably the two types of streams that I really have fun in, are the streams where I can go do something else and I have them on in the background and I can, like, literally just listen to them all day. And the streams where, like, it is controlled chaos, where things are happening, memes are going off, alerts are happening, and all of that stuff sort of goes. And I kind of feel like I'm torn, right? Do I want to put together a stream that's similar to that, where it's like controlled chaos, people are, you know, enjoying the interaction of all the alerts and they're spending channel points and they're doing this and they're doing that, or do I want to create a sort of calming lurk stream where we can joke and meme and have fun and it's just really nice and calming? It really has been a big question for me.
That's kind of hard because, like, especially when you enjoy both. I can understand if you're like, hey, I don't like all that going on, I like the chill vibes, that's all you kind of gravitate towards, and then that'd be an easy choice. But when you have, like, both these people that, like, I enjoy both spectrums of stuff, like, that's really hard.
Yeah. So
see, that is my saving grace, is I know I can never provide a calming stream. I know for a fact I will never be that guy. That we have a handful of chill streams here and there, but man, do I just love going off the rails.
This is Bill's calm voice right now, too, by the way.
This is the calm voice, yeah.
This is calm Bill.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, I've had the most fun in my, like, probably my entire streaming career in the last week playing Spanish Inquisition Pokemon, where we are liberating Pokemon from evil trainers to save them from all of the bad things happening in the world. And it's just evolved into this mess of wrestling memes and stupid 3D animation, and I'm fucking living for it. It is amazing. Like, just watching chat devolve, and then I devolve with them, and then we just end up, no, we're not stealing the Pokemon. We are not stealing the Pokemon! We are liberating them!
You're stealing
no
the Pokemon?
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition!
Liberating them from nice homes.
No! Did you just soundboard boo me? I didn't even know you had that!
No, but it was well deserved.
You know what? Fine. I'll take it. But you know what? Your boos are my views. So, fuck it. Any publicity is good publicity. Oh. I fucking hate it here. I fucking hate it here.
I love it.
It's the best. So I would highly recommend everybody install voice mod if you're getting into streaming, because voice mod will allow you to do all kinds of fun things that like that, create soundboards. Anyway, yeah,
hashtag
I mean,
hashtag
not sponsored. Please sponsor me, voice mod, please. But yeah, like it's so funny to me to see, like, the different styles of people who stream, and the way their humor comes out in the stream is very fun. One of the things that I've been doing is trying to find a stream identity. And I think that we talked about that a little bit while back, a couple of streams ago, like finding your identity, finding what your stream's identity is and figuring it out. And I think the humor and that kind of stuff is always one of those ways that your stream identity kind of comes forward. It's baby time.
Oh, hello, baby.
Everybody look over
Did you
here.
have a German accent?
Oh, hello, baby.
Hello, baby. Look
at that half smile.
It's the baby. Hello, baby.
Hello, baby.
Hi. Yes, that's a fish. That's a fish on Daddy's screen. That's a fish on his screen right now. He's playing New World in the background, not paying attention.
Wave.
What? Have you noticed the cute vibes? Come on. Come on. Come on.
You want to say hi?
Hey, baby.
Get We have babies and kitties on stream.
We've got all the cute. Huh, Tweak?
What is happening? We have lost control of this stream. We have lost control.
We've been overtaken by cute. There's a baby and a cat, and then there's just Dugger.
Just Dugger, wow.
What sort of backwards fucking pageantry is that?
Oh,
Okay,
Letter
Dugger.
Kenny.
All right. We're just devolving at this point. The other things, there's a few other things I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on. Derek had mentioned that he wanted to talk about this as well because he is super into it. It's probably his favorite anime of all time. I think, he couldn't say enough good things about it. So we're going to talk about it. Have you guys seen the new Cowboy Bebop trailer that Netflix released?
I have not.
I haven't seen the trailer, but let's be honest, Cowboy Bebop has been the hardest thing to track down on a digital media platform forever.
I've heard it was
Netflix
really,
Netflix
really
now
good.
has the rights to Cowboy Bebop digitally, the anime. So it is on Netflix currently. But yeah, now they have the rights. I don't have a doggo, unfortunately, Ren. I'm so sorry. My doggo did not survive the pandemic. Let's take a look at this, and I kind of want to see
goodbye,
what you
baby.
guys, for those of you who have watched Cowboy Bebop and love that anime and watched it growing up on Toonami, tell me what you think of the way that they captured the vibe in the live action. So we're going to take a look at this.
So what brings you back from the dead?
Now I own all the cute.
A week ago, I did a job.
I think your arms cancel out the
A bounty.
cuteness.
Okay,
I had a partner, believe it or not. He know what you used to be?
Yeah, you can't be two-toned. So.
You're just jealous because I jump into a snowbank and
Will
you
I
can't
ever see you
fucking
again?
find me, bitch.
They tried to kill me.
Natural
Anna.
camouflage, baby.
If you
That's
need
not
to
what I was
find
gonna say. I'll leave it.
me, I go
I'll
by
say it.
Spike Spiegel these days.
Oh no, say it, Derek.
Nope.
Interrupt the Cowboy Bebop trailer. Everybody's watching this. We're gonna have our own conversation right now.
I'm just gonna say with the camera right now, you kind of blend into your beige wall.
I'm gone.
I still see the fusion parkour though, the shirt. I still see the shirt
It's
up.
very bright.
It's a
all I
very
see.
bright red shirt. Is that a thing? Do you tend to wear you do wear bright red shirts almost every Thursday?
Well, you see, what happens is, I work Wednesday nights, and all day today, my body is just sore as shit. Like, there's the realization that I am getting older and I can't continue to do these things. So literally changing my clothes after work on Wednesday is such an incredible pain. I'm just like, I ain't got fuck all to do today. I got the podcast. We're sticking in the work clothes.
Oh my god. All right. Let's do this again.
Let's do this again.
Okay, a little sidetracked.
Okay. Focus. Focus on the
So
Bebop.
what brings you back from the dead? A week ago, I did a job. A bounty. I had a partner, believe it or not. He know what you used to be? Will I ever see you again? They tried to kill me, Anna. If you need to find me, I go by Spike Spiegel these days.
It's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
In this solar system, if the cops and the bounty hunters don't get you, the syndicate will. There's no happy ending here.
Spoken like a man who's never been in love.
I was.
What happened?
I was dreaming.
What do you say, fellas? You want to team up? I was thinking a 60-40 split. Going my way, of course.
Do not shoot her.
Please?
No.
What the actual fuck?
We're a team. The three of us. Go grab some bounties.
Please, I just want to kill her a little bit.
God damn it, Spike.
It's jamming.
You good guys. Or bad guys.
Depends on who you ask.
Thoughts? What do you think?
So it looks really good. And I was actually, it's weird you say this now that I'm thinking about it. We were talking about this at work today too as well. That a lot of the live action stuff just seems to be trash.
Here's the problem with it. Anime works so well because of the style of animation. There is so many things that you can do with, if we look at the animation of anime in general, not the art, but the actual movement and animation,
Mm-hmm.
it is very simple techniques applied in a specific way
Right.
that you cannot do in live action. You just can't. Any
Right.
live action anime anything, 9 times out of 10 is ass trash.
Yep.
Like not even close. Like there are so many live action anime adaptations that fail strictly because you can't get the absurdity that is anime from live action. Does Cowboy Bebop look good? Yes. Will it probably disappoint me? Absolutely. Because they will not be able to recreate the magic that was Cowboy Bebop. It's the same reason why you have like iconic anime IPs like Dragon Ball, or I know Avatar isn't actually an anime, but it's still in the same art style and animation style.
It's an anime. It's an anime. It's an anime. It's an anime.
It is. I consider it an anime, but purists
Yeah.
are gonna be like, "Oh, it was made in America."
Hot take. It's an anime.
But like the reason you see so many iconic IPs, or even like Ghost in the Shell, when they recently redid Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson, it just falls apart. It doesn't function as intended because it loses the magic that makes anime anime. And you almost never see, there are certain anime that you could do in live action that would work. I think more of like a slice of life anime can get away with it. When you take an action, an action-based anime or a shonen and try to make it live action, it doesn't function. It just doesn't.
I would point to a couple of different shows that I think did really, really well. One, I think that Battle Angel Alita did fantastic, did great justice to the anime originally. And I think the reasoning that it did was the creator, the person who made that movie, was obsessed with making that movie. He was such a fan of Battle Angel that it was literally his life's goal. He made like the big blockbuster movies he did just to get enough clout for somebody to say yes to him to make Battle Angel. That's the dedication this man has to it. So when somebody like that is creating your series, right? I think that they get a pass for things that have to be adapted, right? Stuff you can't do you can do in anime, but you can't do in live action. I think has to be given a pass because the adaptation requires change. It's the same situation when you have somebody who takes a book and adapts it to a medium like television or a movie. A lot of people, probably everybody in this chat, but most people would probably agree that the most perfect book adaptation to movie has been the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It is, if you could call an adaptation perfect, it would be the one that you would call perfect. There are still things that changed, things that literally had to change because of it being a movie and not a book. And I actually have a trailer to watch that talks about that specifically, or that is very similar to that situation. The Wheel of Time is one of my favorite series of all time. It's coming out actually the same day that Cowboy Bebop is on Amazon Video. And the person who's the showrunner, the person who's doing all of the sort of decision making and the producing and all that kind of stuff for the show, is a huge fan of the books. And I'm talking like this has been a passion project for theirs for a long time. And they had the literal wife of the widow of the author on set with them, and had Wheel of Time historians on set with them to make sure that they were literally like creating the right thing and doing the right thing. And so I wanted to take a look at the sort of the official trailer that Prime Video released, I think a couple of days ago, I think 2 days ago, and see what you guys think. I know Derek doesn't have any idea what Wheel of Time is, and no. Bill, you don't know what it is. Okay, so I want to get your guys' opinion. This is perfect. I want to get your guys' opinion for people who literally have no idea what this is. Think. And I hate using this comparison, right? Because it's going to put a sore taste in your mouth. But think sort of like Game of Thrones style, right? They took a book that was a fantasy series and they turned it into a TV show. Forget that there was a season 8 or season 7. Just forget that happened.
Man, there was 8 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Anyway,
man, I missed that series.
Let's take a look at this and see what you guys think.
Swear your oath, Moraine Sedai.
I swear to speak no word that is not true, to make no weapon with which one person may kill another, and never to use the one power as a weapon.
Do you know what Aes Sedai means in the old tongue? Servants of all. It is they who serve the world.
I didn't choose this path, but I will follow it.
Where next?
The 2 rivers.
I'll tell you right now, I'll watch the shit out of this.
Tell you right now, I won't.
I will. This is right up my alley.
High fantasy's never done it for me. I enjoy D&D. I don't enjoy high fantasy. I don't know why.
The Dark One is waking. But there will be one who can stand against him. And it's one of the 5 of you.
You fully lost your mind.
Your life isn't going to be what you thought.
Moraine.
What are those? His army is coming.
What can we do?
We protect the people we love. No matter the cost.
Our enemies are everywhere. They will leave no one standing.
We've lost too many people already. I can't lose you.
You won't. If we do not stop the Dark One now, the whole world will burn. I can't allow it. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills.
Do you think we'll ever go back?
I'll definitely watch that.
Looks great.
I love all that type of stuff. Like, I've watched Game of Thrones. I've watched it twice. All the seasons. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Merlin or Rain. I've watched both those multiple times. I like all that shit.
It's right up your wheelhouse then, Derek.
Yes,
it
exactly.
absolutely would be.
Literally right up there.
It is. I would say that this series, Wheel of Time, is as low. I would say it's similar in similar fashions to like Game of Thrones. It's low fantasy in the majority of it. Game of Thrones tend to be high fantasy because it involves things like dragons and all of that. There are no dragons other than the person that they refer to as the Dragon Reborn in the Wheel of Time. And, you know, there are what they call Trollocs, which are these, you know, which are those monster style creatures. They're all kind of different. They don't all look the same. You know, they have like different features from different, you know, creatures and beings and stuff, and are all stuck together. But they're always big and monstrous, and they always talk about the big cook pots what they put people in, and they cook people and eat them in the books. The show looks like it's going to be, you know, specifically bloody, which I love. They did not tone everything into darkness, so there is going to be color and light, which I love. The lighting seems really good. I hated the way Game of Thrones lit fucking everything. It was really annoying to me how dark they felt everything needed to be. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Every once in a while, you got a titty.
Probably
it's true.
You probably won't get that here.
Do you know how many people I know literally watched Game of Thrones each week for whoever's
boobies,
fucking naked body they were going to see?
Tibby witties.
It was a brother and sister getting it on, though.
Here's the thing. Legitimately, high fantasy, like fantasy movies and shows do nothing for me. I've literally never actually watched the Lord of the Rings series. There's a good reason behind it. I know. What happens? If I haven't said it enough or you can't tell on your own, have ADD very aggressively. When I got the Lord of the Rings movies as like a young teenager, I got it for Christmas. The entire trilogy, the fucking director's cuts. They're fucking 11 hours long. I couldn't make it through the first movie because it was the fucking director's cut. And to this day, I start watching it and I go back there and I'm like, I don't have the attention span to sit still for 11 hours and watch a fucking movie. Are you kidding me? Do you know who I am? Like shit. Sitting down for this podcast for an hour and a half and just talking is hard. Like, so there's always like too much and not enough going on in these shows for me that I can't watch them. I just can't. Game of Thrones, I've heard it's great. I cannot watch it. I cannot enjoy it. There is always, again, too many and too little things happening at the exact same time. And it drives me insane.
I'm the kind of person I will sit down and binge watch in one day sometimes. Well, not now because we have a baby. But we'd binge watch that stuff from like the morning to night, one day, all day, watch everything. Harry Potter, all that stuff. I need
instant resolution. Like, that's what I need. I need anything that I watch to be resolved within 1 to 2 hours.
That's why anime is perfect.
To that point, then this next show will be right up your alley, Bill.
Oh boy, we're going into DUNE.
DUNE looks good as well.
I am excited to watch.
When I watched the preview for it, it looked really good.
Also, the cast for this
currently available on HBO Max if you guys want to watch it.
The outsiders ravage our lands in front of our eyes.
To unmute the stream again. I'm watching this with the audience.
Their cruelty to my people is all I've known. What's to become of our world?
People need to stop casting people.
It gets to the point where somebody's in all kinds of movies that kind of just blend together.
I've been having dreams.
The characters.
About a girl on Arrakis.
Like, Batista plays the same character in every movie. The jacked dumb guy.
Everything important happens when we're awake.
Yeah, you. Put on some muscle? I did?
No.
We are House Atreides. There is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
Smile, Gurney.
I am smiling.
The Emperor asks us to bring peace to Arrakis. House Atreides accepts.
I know you. There's something awakening in my mind.
You need to face your fears.
Come with me. You need to be ready. You've never met Harkonnens before. They're not human, they're brutal. The Duke's son sees too much.
This is why DUNE. Kill them all.
God in heaven.
Get everything with guns off the ground! Go!
This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one.
Let's fight like demons.
Dad, what if I'm not the future of House Atreides? A great man doesn't seek to lead. He's called to it. But if your answer is no, you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be. My son. If anything happens, will you protect Paul?
With my life.
Only together can we stand a chance.
It's time.
So, DUNE was fantastic. I watched the first part, and it is the first part. Warner Brothers kind of pulled a bullshit and did not greenlit part 2 until literally like yesterday. Like, it's been out since the 22nd. They greenlit the second part till yesterday. So Dennis can actually start working on the second part of that show. But absolutely fantastic show, fantastic game. I think both of you would actually really enjoy it. But again, it's one of those things, Bill, where like there's kind of an ending, but it's not. They sort of build everything up, and then it's going to be a bigger payoff in part 2. So it's this situation where you're like, it's kind of a cliffhanger, but not really. So if you know the story, like the game,
I will end up watching DUNE. I will end up watching DUNE. Sci-fi does it for me. Don't know why. It just does.
And I would, for those of you who are confused about what DUNE actually is, if you were to say make a comparison, right? DUNE is to sci-fi what Lord of the Rings is to fantasy. If you look at literally every sci-fi that has been created since Frank Herbert wrote DUNE, every single one of them is derivative of DUNE. Every one of them. Star Wars, literally every sci-fi that has ever come out has, look at Warhammer 40K, for example. It is almost directly lifted from DUNE, like 100%. It is absolutely an influential thing. And even the Wheel of Time, which is a fantasy series, not sci-fi, but a fantasy series, uses a group of clandestine magical women who have decided to control and shape and direct history on their own. Very similar to the Bene Gesserit from DUNE. So it is a fantastic series, but yeah, it is to sci-fi as Lord of the Rings is to fantasy. Lord of the Rings essentially created the fantasy genre. It created it. There is everything you see in the fantasy genre today was created by Lord of the Rings. In the same way sci-fi was created today. Modern sci-fi has almost everything to hand back to DUNE. So it's definitely one of those situations where it's going to be an influential movie. I can't wait for the part. I think they greenlit part 3 for 2023 is I think what it's going, or part 2. So part 2 is going to be coming out in a couple of years. So we got to wait for it. But
Duggar, you hit on Star Wars, and I want to talk about Star Wars now.
Let's talk about Star Wars. I have the hottest take of Star Wars, by the way, but we'll let you go first.
The original trilogy is bad. Period. Done. The original Star Wars trilogy is bad. Was it good at the time? Absolutely. Was it revolutionary at the time? Absolutely. If you go back and watch the original Star Wars trilogy today, it is ass. It is not good. It doesn't hold up.
Are you saying that it's a baby show for babies?
I would say it's a baby show for babies.
It was made for kids, man.
But
George Lucas wanted toy rights because at the time Star Wars was coming out, toys were literally the thing that was making the most money.
Yeah, like Star Wars, wonderful story. I enjoy Star Wars. Original trilogy, great story, terrible movies. What, 30 years later now? 40 years later now? They're bad. They're just bad. The original trilogy, or the prequels, also bad in their own right, just in a different way. If we really just look at Star Wars movies in general, they're all kind of bad. The great story. I enjoy them. I like bad movies. It's okay to like things that are objectively bad. But if we really look at all of Star Wars as a whole, they're all just kind of bad. Like there's no two ways about it.
I will give you everything except for episode 8.
I refuse to watch the Disney Star Wars movies. I refuse.
I will give you everything except for episode 8. And I will tell you this. If you haven't seen them, you should.
I haven't watched anything since Revenge of the Sith.
The Last Jedi is a fucking masterpiece.
Isn't The Last Jedi the home to the single worst fight scene in Star Wars?
No. It's one of the best.
Sure it is.
It's one of the best fight scenes.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm just over here
as somebody
you
who
haven't seen the movie.
But I've seen this. I know the scene that I'm talking about because I've seen it, and there is so much dirtling because they put the two actual actors in the scene and they miss all of their fucking beats really hard. Like all of the stuntmen, I'm not sure if it's The Last Jedi. It's one of the recent Disney Star Wars films. The one where Rey and Adam Driver are fighting a horde of, I think, Imperial Guards. They're all dressed in red and wearing the goofy helmets.
That fight scene was really enjoyable. That fight scene is fantastic.
Stop and watch the fucking fight scene. Separate yourself from the fucking movie. Separate yourself from the franchise and watch the fucking fight scene. Watch the actual, people who aren't directly involved in it. There's plenty of times where they're just spinning around like, oh, you're supposed to be here. Okay, I'm gonna go spin this way now because you're not there. It's so fucking bad. As somebody who's done fight choreography, it is literally the worst choreographed and performed fight scene in a Star Wars film. Period.
Duggar, I think once you realize and get to the point where you realize Bill hates everything,
I love
all
shit.
make more sense.
I love shit. You ever watch a Donnie Yen movie?
There's 3 things Bill loves: New York pizza, bagels, and fucking chocolate milk. Besides that, everything else can fuck off in his book.
Well, as long as we're calling them bagels, they're bagels. They're not bagels. They're bagels. They're all bagels. It's a bagels. You put creme cheese on bagels, and that's what you do.
Creme cheese on bagel. Oh yeah.
Creme cheese on bagels. No,
not those 3 things he don't care about.
And here's the thing, you haven't seen the movie, so I can't argue with you about it, but The Last Jedi is a absolute masterpiece of filmmaking and storytelling. It understands Star Wars in a way that I think most people who are directing Star Wars movies don't, especially J.J. Abrams. It is a homage and a love letter to Star Wars fans. The movie it's brilliantly done. It's brilliantly said. It is probably one of the best sci-fi movies ever, but you have to see it in the context of the Star Wars universe, the Star Wars franchise. But it's definitely the best Star Wars movie. It's probably
I am viewing it as an enthusiast of fight choreography. fight scene was hot garbage.
It's so this is my because I'm very neutral. I've watched Star Wars, never really was big into it. The reason I'm laughing so hard is there's Duggar saying there's this brilliant masterpiece. It's just beautiful and is amazing. And there's Bill saying this is a big bag of shit.
It is.
Dude,
it is. Separate it from the movie. I can't judge the movie as a whole. I can't judge the context of that fight scene. What I can judge is how the fight scene plays out, and it's a fucking tragedy. It is some of the worst shit I've ever watched. Like, especially when it's like, oh, there goes fucking whoever the fuck Adam Driver's character's name is. I can't remember. But, oh, we've already found out 8 movies in that this guy's a fucking badass. Yeah, let me just walk up to him like it's no big deal. Oh, there goes my head. Like, what the fuck? Like, we get it. They're Imperial drones, but, like, shit.
Okay, so I found a YouTube video of this. And it literally shows them fighting. It has a big question mark in it. Like, and I'm kind of...
Watch that fight scene. Watch that fight scene.
Do you want me to send it to you, Duggar?
I've seen the fight scene. I can recite what happens.
Let's share the fight. Let's share the fight
right,
scene.
send it to me. We'll watch it.
I'm streaming it to Discord.
We'll
I'll stream
watch
it
it
into the Discord right now.
No, I got it. You're gonna mess up everything.
We all need to be on the same page for this, so I can point out everywhere that everything's fucking wrong.
I have a weird question. Is there a part where somebody milks something and drinks it?
What?
Yeah, there's definitely a green milk scene.
Okay. What do you want
put
me
it,
to
put it in the show notes? Yeah, put it in the show notes. Let's take a look at it. I'll pull it up and we'll put it on the thing.
Yes, the throne room scene. This is specifically it.
By the way, I'm not cool with the Last Jedi slander.
Let me know when you start it. I want to watch it my end.
Let me make sure I've got.
Duggar, you're gonna need to share it to the stream, so everybody, we can all be on the same fucking page. All right, because I'm about to tear this shit to shreds, and it sounds like the person who made this video did an all right job of it.
The way that I've got things formatted, it won't work if I share it to the stream.
Oh my god, Duggar, we can't dock it the same way we docked the Twitch clips.
Right.
Production, get your shit together.
Yeah, I'll have to yell at those guys later.
Duggar, I love you. Understand, I only give you this much shit because I love you, buddy.
Look at this. Watch his 2 weapons.
I see the one person in the background just spinning around in circles.
Yeah, if you pay attention to the actual stunt people in this fight scene, they spend like 90% of their time just fucking dirtling, waiting for the actors to hit their beats.
So many levels, it was fundamentally bad. I've made countless videos talking about.
All right, I'm not gonna watch this guy fucking talk about how bad this movie is. It's not bad. This movie is fantastic. He clearly doesn't understand Star Wars.
I have no opinion of the movie. I have very specific opinions about how that fight scene is the single worst fight scene that has been in a Star Wars movie. The choreography is loose at best. The actors miss all of their beats. Literally all of their beats.
So, question for you.
Yes.
Bill, how do you feel about the fight scenes in The Matrix?
The Matrix fight scenes.
So this is the scene. This is the actual scene. I'm not gonna listen to some dude fucking talk about how bad the movie is.
Like, there's some cool beats. There's some cool beats in this scene, but the fight choreography is fucked. Duggar, please pay attention to all of these Imperial fucking guards that are waiting for Rey and fucking Adam Driver to hit their beats. All right, ready? Here comes 3 guys in the background that are now just spinning and spinning and spinning. There's that guy waiting for the actress to hit their beat. It's so fucking off time. The fact you can tell that they didn't have the time left in production to deliver this fight scene properly. There is such a ridiculous amount of durdle, and it drives me crazy. Also, I feel like, from what I've seen of the most recent Star Wars movies, there is a distinct lack of, like, creativeness in the fights. You have literally unlimited ability to choreograph whatever you want because the Force is a fucking thing. The Force can do whatever the fuck you say it does. And it's just missing. Here comes this guy. He's gonna do 19 flourishes and wait for Adam Driver to hit his beat. Like, there's just so much unnecessary shit here. It drives me insane. See, this guy is now gonna do 3 extra spins because Ray missed her beat. I'm sure it serves the purpose well. I'm sure it serves the story, but as somebody who enjoys fight scenes, it misses the mark of being a good fight scene. Is this the move I think it is? Is this the move? Yeah. This is dope. That's great. And then we got this move here is fucking fantastic. It's the best beat of the fight. That is fucking badass. I give that to it. It has great beats and a lot of dirtling in between.
Didn't see it.
There is too many people in too tight of a space. It doesn't fucking function as a fight scene, and I hate it. Watch some Donnie Yen films. I'm gonna give you fucking.
I'm sorry. Let's stop there. You're gonna compare American filmmakers to Donnie Yen choreography. No.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hong Kong fight choreography is the best in the world. It's the best in the world.
And this is the biggest budget film in the fucking world. How much money did they throw at this movie? God damn it!
No.
I feel like Bill's not gonna be invited.
Hong
next
Kong
week.
fight choreography came out of a situation where they didn't have any money and they had to learn to do it differently, right?
And they do it right. Watch The Punisher. If you want to see great, low-budget American fight choreography, watch The Punisher.
I would say also Daredevil. The Netflix
Punisher and Daredevil.
Yeah.
As well. Daredevil has some of the best, most real fucking fight scenes in like American TV. I say TV loosely because it's a Netflix, but you know.
TV is Netflix.
The TV format.
If anybody thinks that Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime is not TV right now, then they're boomers and they should retire and die. So.
I would say die.
Well, die might be a stretch. Die.
Well, they need to die.
No, hey. That might be far even for me.
They need to die so that we can inherit all their property and sell it and make money. So.
They need to retire and just go to Florida.
Yes.
Yeah.
Move
but
to
not
the
Clearwater.
retirement home.
Anywhere except Clearwater, because I like Clearwater, but they could go anywhere else. Fucking stay out of Tampa. All right.
Man. Next week, I'm bringing clips of my favorite fight scenes.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. I really enjoy well choreographed fight scenes, right? But nothing about that fight scene takes me out of the movie. And I think that's probably the difference between us.
I'm not arguing that fight scene doesn't serve the purpose of the movie. I am arguing that as a fight scene, it is bad. As a standalone fight scene, it is bad. I'm sure it serves the movie well. I'm sure it serves the story. I'm sure there's a lot of context I don't understand.
I suggest you watch the movies, Bill. At some point, you need to watch them. You need to watch them.
I'm sure they're fine movies. I'm sure they're fucking great. You know what happened when Disney got the Star Wars IP? When Disney got the Star Wars IP, I declared that I would not watch a single Disney Star Wars movie. I have not watched The Mandalorian. I haven't watched Solo. I haven't watched any of the new Star Wars movies. I haven't seen Rogue One. I said once Disney took Star Wars, I was done with it. And I stuck to my guns. Here I am, years later, having not seen anything Star Wars in the last God knows how many years now.
It's just really sad.
I'm sure
I
they're
haven't
great.
watched them either.
I genuinely like Star Wars. Again, just because I said that the original trilogy is bad doesn't mean I don't enjoy them. They're just objectively bad, and that's okay. It's fine. Suicide Squad, objectively bad movie, really fun watch. Fucking loved it. Terrible writing, terrible script, direction bad. Fun watch. Anybody ever watch Ernest? Anybody ever watch the Ernest
God.
movies? Terrible fucking movies.
Have you ever watched The
Absolutely
Evil Dead?
terrible.
Scared
Yes.
stupid. I still make the Miak joke. Still, to this day. I still make the German Miak joke from Scared Stupid. I literally will make jokes from that movie forever because the Ernest movies were, I guess, iconic in my childhood.
They were great. I loved the Ernest movies growing up. I still find them incredibly fun to watch. They're objectively bad movies, though. Like, if we look at it through a 100% objective lens, they're bad movies.
Well, yeah.
Just flat out.
I'm just not going
But
to
they're
accept.
fun to watch.
I'm just not going to accept that. Like, here's the thing, right? The Force Awakens is a better version of The New Hope. If you think the original movies were bad, then you should watch the new one because they did all the things correctly. Like,
I refuse.
It's just a better version.
I said it when Disney got the IP, and I always fold. I'm always like, I'm not going to do this, and then I do it anyways. I'm standing my ground. I stood my ground with Game of Thrones. I still have not watched a single episode of that series. I watched like half of one on 24-hour duty when I was in Korea, and that was it. And I was like, nope.
That was
It
all
looks
you
like
watched?
I watched the end of an episode where the guy who looks like Inigo Montoya fights the mountain and gets killed, and he's like, "You raped my sister!" and then he gets killed. That's the part of Game of Thrones I saw.
That was a really good part, though.
It was great. Speaking of good fight choreography, that was a good fight scene. But I was like, nope, I missed too much of Game of Thrones now. I've heard too many good things. The only thing Game of Thrones will ever be able to do is disappoint me. Straight up.
It's
Because
interesting
I've
to
heard
me
it built
how Game
from
of Thrones was
everyone.
literally like the zeitgeist for multiple years. And then the last season put such a bad taste in everybody's mouth that nobody wants to talk about it at all anymore. Like, you don't see Game of Thrones fucking anywhere.
Did you
But
see where they tried to petition to rewrite the last season?
I have seen that. Yeah, I've seen that on TikTok. I've seen people talking about it.
Can I be real? Biggest mistake any fandom ever makes is trying to get the last season rewritten or trying to get another season. It fucks everything. It fucks everything. Every time.
They ended it kind of.
I understand.
I would disagree with you on one case. One case I'll disagree with you on, and that is Community.
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 I'm happy that Community is dead. Community was a great show. I love Community. Donald Glover is fantastic. Everything about Community I fucking love. Let it die. Just let it be dead.
But like that was the thing. They got another season because the fans did that, because they pushed for it. So I'm happy that happened, you know?
But like fucking big thing for me, Tokyo Ghoul. Season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul is fantastic. Season 2, the writer of the anime the writer of the manga had stopped. The writer ended the series for whatever reason.
Yep.
And the anime writers decided they were going to continue the story, and it fucking sucked. And then they killed the series after 2 seasons. And then the fandom petitions for a 3rd season, and I, to this day, will tell everybody, watch Tokyo Ghoul, don't watch anything past season 1, you'll hate it after. It will ruin the entire series.
Promised Neverland was kind of the same for me.
Promised Neverland
Season 1 was really good.
Failed for different reasons.
Season 2 was not there.
Promised Neverland failed for completely different reasons because they have source material to use and they chose not to. But like, sometimes, even if we want more, we just gotta be like, hey, be happy we got anything good. Let's be happy they didn't fuck it. Let's be happy they didn't go the Brett Favre route and come out of retirement 6 times. And now we all think of Brett Favre as this washed-up has-been quarterback in the jeans commercial. He could have retired and been one of the greats. And now we remember Vikings Brett Favre and Jets Brett Favre. And boy, were those a fucking mess.
It's nice to go out on a good note versus remembering it as the washed-up has-been that should have just stopped.
Exactly. Like
speaking of going out on a good note,
man, I'm going out on the worst fucking note.
We have reached our time, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. This has been Stream of Consciousness. Bill, where can we find you? What are you doing?
Twitch.tv/I'mDoingIt_. We're in the middle of a playthrough of Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, which I like to call Pokemon XD, the Spanish Inquisition, because nobody expects it. Other
Pokemon,
fun things we have going on.
Got it.
This coming Thursday, I'm doing my first ever subathon. There's information for that in my Discord. You can find it through my stream. But that'll be next Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We may stream the podcast over on YouTube or on my Twitch as well, because I may still be dead heat in a subathon.
Yeah, we will definitely break into your subathon for the last hour of your stream.
And then we got one other big thing that's happening that has come as a gift of my retirement from Hades, is I'm starting a new content series probably next week, which we are calling 1 Week Speedruns. Myself and Lat Millard are going to be taking a week out of every month to learn a new speedrun. We're going to take the first day and run it just at a base level. And then we're going to take the week to develop and see who improves the most over that week's worth of time. It's something I've wanted to do for so long, and Hades has consumed my life from being able to do that. So now me and Lat are both coming together and stepping away from Hades once a month. Well, Lat's stepping away once a month to my permanently. But we're going to come together and try out new speedruns. The first thing on the docket is actually Garfield Kart. We are going to learn the Garfield Kart speedrun, and we are going to grind it together for a week. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be utter chaos, but we're going to have a good time with friends, and I'm super excited for it. I'm doing it _ on all platforms, Twitch, Twitter. Maybe I have an Instagram somewhere with that tag. I don't fucking know. I don't use that shit. But yeah, that's me. More Chaos Gremlin Energy, 9 a.m. to roughly 1 a.m. Eastern every Monday through Friday. Twitch.tv, I'm doing it _
Thank you so much, Bill. DS, where can we find you? What are you doing?
Follow that. There's so much energy just exuding out of Bill, even when he's not trying.
It's just my natural state of being, Derek.
So for me, you will find me playing New World or Dead by Daylight. We still play Dead by Daylight at least once a week. I love that game, the community there. You can find me over on Twitch at DStheOriginal. That's my username for pretty much everything. But I will be doing a lot of Dead by Daylight New World as well. We play in Discord all the time, even when I'm not streaming. I still stream to Discord. Still a lot of awesome folks over there. But yeah, you'll just catch me usually in there with a few friends having some fun. So if you're ever bored, you play Dead by Daylight or New World, and want to have some fun people to play with, you don't want to play alone, definitely just hop on over.
I would definitely suggest it. DS also puts on a great show, but he really does love his community, and they have a great time over there.
Anytime you go into DS's chat, try to come up with what the DS stands for. I promise you it's not his initials. But if you can just smash together a D and an S word and pop into his chat for the first time and call him like Donkey Sniffer the Original, he'll know I'll send you, and he always appreciates it.
Nice.
I definitely do. Definitely do.
Well, my name is Dugger. You can find me on literally every platform at the tag soDugger. You can find me right here on YouTube. If you've liked what you've seen and you want to see more of it, hit that subscribe button. If you want to get alerted, hit the bell button. And like the podcast, like the stream if you can. If you did not like it, my name is Philip DeFranco, and you've been filled in. I'll see you guys next week.
Star Wars sucks!